Shalom, sisters and brothers, and welcome back to the channel. I'm glad that you could join me again as we share the word of the Most High in these days of trouble. Today, family, we're going to talk about deception. It's alive and well from the day that Eve was deceived until present day and beyond. You know, family, a lot of people don't even know that they're deceived. That's the bad part. You know, you think that you're doing everything right according to some doctrines of men, you know, what you hear in some of these churches, and you're deceived. And for the most part, the pastors are deceived. You know, it's like the blind are leading the blind. Okay? You know, and you can be easily deceived, family, and not even know it. You know, it's just that way. For those of us who don't know the true word of the Most High, it's easy to be deceived. But those of us that's awake, we can kind of spot the deception, you know, a mile off. You know, when people watch the media on TV and other platforms, they are scripted. They're meant to deceive. And the best way you can avoid being deceived is always take the opposite position of what they say. If they say something is up, then you look down. You know, it's always the opposite. And it's meant to be that way. They're meant to deceive you and control your mind and your thoughts. And so we just can't let that happen, family. It's too late in the game to be going around deceived. And as we go along, we're going to get into one of the biggest deceptions that they ever put on us. You know, even as young people, when we first went into school, but we'll talk about that deception too. You know, but right now, we'll just go through scriptures and we'll break them down, and we'll talk about that. But I'm gonna show you one of the main deceptions that we've ever been told. Okay, we all know that we've been deceived about who we are. You know, they've called us by many names, you know, except for who we really are. So that's one of the deceptions. And we have sisters and brothers right today that don't know that they are the Most High's people. You know, they can't see themselves in the scriptures nowhere. Why? Because none of their teachers are teaching them that. And I doubt if any of the teachers in these churches know themselves. So like I say, it's the deceived leading the deceived. Okay? So let's go ahead and get in the scriptures, and then we're going to talk about that big deception. Okay? But we're going to prove that to be a lie too. And guess what? We're going to use scripture to do it. It's not gonna be what I think, what you think. We're gonna let the scriptures speak for themselves. Okay? But let's start off. Psalms 52. I believe that's verse 2. It says, "Thy tongue devised mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitfully." Okay? So, this is how you're deceived, from the mouths of men. It's deception all around, family. It's deception in medicine. In contracts that you sign, it's deception in it if you're not wise enough to read the fine print. Why would they put something in real fine print? Why? Because they really don't want you to read it, and most people don't. And therefore, you'll be deceived by the contract you done signed your name onto. We have pastors leading you under deception, telling you that the laws are done away with. And Mashiach told you himself he did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. He also said, not one jot nor tittle shall pass from this law. As long as there's heaven and earth, ain't nothing gonna pass from that. So then, how can somebody tell you that they're done away with? Mashiach came and he paid the penalty for our sins. But he did not come to pay that penalty so you can continue in sin. See? So yeah, the laws are still there. They're just as active as they were the day the Most High put them on the tablets. Nothing changed from that. Most High does not change. Neither does his law. Now, when you accept Mashiach, we obtain salvation through him. Okay? Therefore, we're just not bound to the letter of the law, but we have to keep them. As a matter of fact, if you are following Mashiach, you got faith in him, and you following him, then the law has no effect on you because you're not going to intentionally break them. You're not going to be a lawbreaker, just as Mashiach was not a lawbreaker. In that sense, you're not under the law because you're not going to break them, not intentionally. We all stumble every once in a while, but we're not going out here intentionally sinning because we think once we believe in Mashiach and all this that you can live like you want to. And this is what happens in these churches. They show up on a Sunday, which is the wrong day, but they be all pious and trying to look holy on Sunday, singing, dancing, and everything else. And from Monday all the way to the next Sunday, they're living like they want to. In total sin, adultery, drunkenness, everything else. Until Sunday. Then they get holy again. See? They're deceived. Because the pastor told them the law is done away with. Look at these commercials on TV when they're advertising certain medicine for a certain condition. It tells you what it treats, but right at the bottom of the screen, it got a whole list of stuff, bad things that can happen if you take it. Now, if you're not reading that and just read the big print, you're probably going to take something that's going to harm you, okay? It's deception is everywhere, you know. And what's this other one? Once saved, always saved. Nah, that's a lie too. That's deception. In fact, let's read the deception. Go to First Peter. No, I'm sorry, 2 Peter, chapter 2, and we'll start at verse 20 to 22. We're gonna see if you always saved. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of Yahushua HaMashiach, they are again entangled again and overcome, the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. Verse 21, for it had been better for them to not have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered to them. Verse 22, but it is happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire, in the mud. See, when you have known the true family of Mashiach and his commandments, and you turn back from that, it says your ending is worse than your beginning. It'd been better if you didn't even know. Okay? So all that once saved, always saved, nah. Salvation is a gift. Alright? From the Most High. Through faith and belief in Mashiach. It's a gift. Didn't cost you nothing. Okay? But just as in all gifts, you know, somebody buy you a gift and you don't like it, you can give it back. Well, you can give your salvation back too by listening to these preachers. What did Mashiach say? He said in John 14 and verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandment. What commandment? The same one that was scribbled in stone. That's what commandments he's talking about in the Torah. So don't let nobody tell you you don't have to keep them. Yes, you do. Tell you what, if you don't think the law is still active, keep breaking it and find out the hard way. Okay. Go to James chapter 1 verse 22. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. See, it's one thing to hear the word and it's another to do it. You know, just because you heard the word, you know what it is, but you're not abiding by it. You're not acting in the manner of what you heard. Then you're just a hearer. You know, does you no good to hear the word and not obey it, not pattern your life after it. John 8:44. You are your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. See, you're operating in the spirit of Satan when you're in disobedience. See, just hearing the word and not acting upon it, family, means absolutely nothing. Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. It's a spiritual war going on, family. You know. It tells you that Satan deceived the whole world. I mean, when we were growing up, we were deceived. A lot of things we were deceived about until the Most High caused the awakening to come upon his people. And those who would accept it, now those who reject it or something, then they're still asleep. They're still deceived. Okay? And they'll be that way all the way to the end if they don't change. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 and 15. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also being transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. See, we got false apostles, teachers, workers of iniquity, the children of Satan, all of them. They come to you as people of light. Oh, well, we're going to help you. We're going to give you this and give you that. Oh, and, if you're sick, when pestilence come, you can come and take this and take that. It's deceiving, family. Trust in no man. Trust in the Father only. That's his best way I can put it. I'm pretty sure most of you know what I'm talking about. See, we're going to find out, that yes, Eve was the one that was deceived. We know this. But, see, Adam is as much at fault as she is. See, because that commandment was given to Adam before Eve was even here. So he knew what not to do. And when Eve came, I'm sure he told her the same thing. But when, Eve got deceived, now Adam was going to try to throw Eve under the bus. No, not so fast, Adam. Eve may have been deceived, but Adam straight up disobeyed. Okay? And us as spiritual leaders of our house, according to the Most High, you can't be trying to throw your wife under the bus when you also disobeyed. Okay? You're supposed to be the leader. So let's read Genesis chapter 2, verse 15 through 17. And the Most High took the man, put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And the Most High commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou may eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day thou eatest, thou shalt surely die. And see, that was given straight to Adam. Eve was not there yet. Okay? So Adam was without excuse. Alright? Go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. Now the serpent was most subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High has made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High said, thou shalt not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. See, there goes the lie and the deception. Verse 5, for the Most High knows that in the day that you eat of it, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he ate. See? Now he deceived her. See? In fact, he was telling her the truth and a lie at the same time. When he said, nah, if you eat of it, you're not going to die. Well, that's true. In the physical sense, they didn't physically die because Adam lived to be over 900 years old. But spiritually, they would die. Okay? So, he lied and deceived her, with a play on words. I guess nowadays we call them semantics, okay? Tomato or tomato. Let's keep reading. Genesis 3, verse 9 through 13. And the Most High called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? See, he's checking Adam now, because he told Adam first. Eve wasn't even there yet. And the man said, here you go, right here, family, throwing Eve under the bus. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. 13, and the Most High said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. In other words, Satan deceived me. Family, if you can, go to the Blue Letter Bible and look up the word beguiled. It means you've been deceived, tricked or whatever. But that's not the bad part. Look at how that word is spelled. It's spelled NASA. Does that sound familiar to you? NASA? That was one of the biggest deceptions we ever got. See, the wicked know the scriptures, man. Satan knows the scriptures as well as you do. And all these followers of his, they use things out the Bible. Now, this agency called NASA, all these moon trips and all this, then look up the word NASA and see what it means. To deceive. It's written, family. I mean, you can look that up for yourself. Just go to and look up the concordance to it, and it'll tell you just what NASA means. In fact, it would be the Strong's H5377. And you'll see at the top it said NASA, NASA, which they pronounce it as Nashal, but it's NASA. It say to deceive. Alright? Beguile. That's what beguile means. And the Hebrew word for it is NASA. NASA. Like the space agency, which deceived everybody, alright? Let's see. Let's go to Romans chapter 16 verse 18. For they that are such serve not our Messiah, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. Family, every offshoot of the Roman Catholic Church is living in deception. I don't care if you Episcopalian, Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, COG, it matters not. You are an offshoot, alright, of the whore of Babylon. You may as well call yourself a Roman Catholic, because you're part of it. You are living in a lie, a deception. Hate to break it to you that way, but it is what it is. We can't sugarcoat the word of the Most High. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. There's a lot of people deceiving you on that subject. The pastors got you looking for a day when you get raptured up, clothes falling on the ground and cars running into stuff because you got zapped out of them. Airplanes crashing because the pilot got raptured. That's a lie, fam. It's deception. We are in the beginning of tribulation, and it's going to get worse. So why isn't the church, as they say, been raptured? They're still here, and they're going to be here, because Mashiach is not coming until after the tribulation. See? So, no, ain't nobody getting zapped up and raptured up nowhere. It's deception and it's a lie. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause, Yahuwah shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. See? When you don't want to accept the truth, then the Most High just let you be deceived. Since you hate the truth, you don't want to hear the truth. When people try to tell you the truth, you reject it. Well, it just let you believe a lie then, to your own detriment. See? Even when Mashiach is reigning for 1,000 years, still going to be people that don't believe. Revelations 20, verse 7 and 8 says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. See, it's still going to be folks that are not believers. And Satan going to be allowed to deceive them again. And let's read what 1 Timothy say. Talking about Eve, we just went over 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13, 14. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. So we see right there, Adam was made first. So he wasn't deceived. He knew what the Most High said. Adam, flat out, disobeyed the Most High. And then tried to throw Eve under the bus. Oh, well, Father, it was that old woman that you gave me. No, Adam, you knew what the commandment was. Now, you ain't getting out of here like that. You gonna make Eve a scapegoat. No, you failed. Okay? 1 John 1 and 8. For if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. See, all have sinned and come short. It's just when we accept Mashiach and follow him, when the Most High looks down at us, he sees Mashiach blood the same way as it was in the Passover. He told him to put the lamb's blood on the doorpost and shut the door and stay in. And when the angel of destruction came through, it would pass over him. That's what the Most High sees today. When you accept Mashiach and you follow him, you have faith in him, when the Most High looks down, he sees his blood. Not that we are perfect, but because we have faith and belief in Mashiach, that the Most High sees his blood on us just as he saw it on the doorpost. Okay? Romans chapter 6. I think I'm going to read verse 1 through 3. For what shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound? Verse 2. Yah forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer in it? Verse 3. Know you not that so many of us as were baptized unto Mashiach was baptized into his death? Okay? So, what's it, verse 4? Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death, and like Mashiach was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we should walk in newness of life. That don't sound like we don't have to keep the law, or we don't have to abide by the law because it's done away with. That was Old Testament, That was Old Testament stuff. We don't have to do that no more. Yes, we do. Okay? Let nobody tell you that, man. This is what happened. See, the Most High will let deception come up on you, family. Especially if you are disobedient. Let's go to this account. 2 Chronicles 18. We're just going to read verse 21. This is the account when the Most High was ready to deal with, destroy Ahab. And he had those spirits around him, and they was trying to decide who would deceive him, you know. And so one of the spirits said that he'd be a lying spirit. Let's read it. 2 Chronicles 18:21. This is the spirit talking. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Most High said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do so. See? You let that deception come up on you. Alright? All Ahab did listening to his prophet went out and got killed because that spirit became a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. They gave him some bad advice, deceptive advice. See, when you keep living in disobedience, the Most High will let you be deceived. He'll let you believe the lie. And I'm afraid of many of us, of our people, have failed for that lie. Instead of trusting in the Most High for our well-being and safety, they yielded to man and his suggestion about what to do about pestilence. You know what I'm speaking of, okay? Don't even need to say it. Who you gonna trust? The Most High, who's not going to deceive you, or man, who is full of deceit and lies? Yeah, this is another verse. 2 Corinthians 11. Start with, I guess, verse 1. Would to Yah you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as chaste virgin to Mashiach. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Mashiach. For if he that come preacheth another, I'm going to use the word they got, for him that come and preacheth another Jesus. See, that's what they're preaching in these churches, another Jesus, not whom we worship, whom we have not preached. Or if you receive another spirit which we have not received, or another gospel which you have not accepted, you might well bear with him. See, they're teaching lies and deception. You know, they're not teaching the true gospel. It's all about prosperity. It's all about trying to act in a way that will be accepted by this world. You know, what they do in the churches is try to teach you how to join in and get along with the people of this world, our enemies. That's what they're teaching you, to fit in. The Most High told us we have nothing to do with this world. Be separate from it, you know. But they try to teach you to fit in. Well, if we don't do this, then maybe they'll do this for us. If we don't say this, maybe they'll do this. You know, we're trying to fit in. No, we have nothing to do with this. Come out of her, my people. Be ye separate. Don't be conformed to this world. We're just in it, family. We're not of it. Ephesians 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. See, it tells you that. They crafty by the sleight of men. Family, this is how magicians do it to deceive you. They use what? Sleight of hand. While you're watching their right hand and focusing on it, that left hand is doing something that gets right by you. You miss it. And this is the way this world works. They put up all these distractions, like Will Smith slapping somebody and all this other foolishness while they're doing other things. Okay? While they're doing something else entirely different. First John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they be of Elohim, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Don't believe everything you hear across the TV, the media, and in a lot of places on social media. Test it and see if it's of the Most High. If it's not, dump it. Okay? You have to test the spirits. People can fix their mouth to say anything. I'm holy this, I'm holy that, I'm this and that. But watch their fruit, because that's how you know them. See, you can get on here and teach all day long. But I guarantee you a quick look into some of them's life away from the mic, away from YouTube, is disgusting. See, they're only on there for financial reasons, to try and make money. The merchandise, the Most High's people. I'm not saying all of them that have donations or have that in mind, but there are a lot to do. They care nothing about your salvation, fam. That's why you don't believe every spirit. I only know one way to be, family. And the many people that know me will attest to it. I'm the same on YouTube as I would be if you emailed me. I'm the same on the phone. I'm the same in the person. You don't get no 2 or 3 different elder scales. It's the same one no matter how we contact each other. In person, on the phone, through YouTube. No, I don't have another problem. I'm the same way. I talk the same way all the time. Like I say, there's plenty of brothers and sisters that will tell you that. Nah, he the same way all the time. He's not going to sugarcoat nothing with you over the phone or nothing else. But there are a lot of people, they got different personalities depending on where they are. Matthew chapter 7, 16 through 23, you shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits you shall know them. Verse 21 says, Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. See, it's one thing to hear the word, you know, and it's another thing to do it. Verse 22, Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have we cast out devils, and in thy name have done many wonderful works? And I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. See, some people think they can do a little something here and a little works here and all that, but they have no faith. They're not obedient. And they think those little things that they do is going to get them in. Oh, well, I gave to the poor. Okay, but were you obedient? Did you live an obedient lifestyle? Because if you didn't, you're going to hear just what Mashiach told him, Depart from me, I never knew you. Okay? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8 through 12. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. See, Satan, he's going to come with lying wonders. I mean, it's going to be all kind of signs, family, in the heavens, that you will be easily deceived. You know, they got things like Project Bluebeam, which can put images in the sky that look absolutely real, and they have the technology to make it talk, sound, everything. A lot of people gonna fall for it. They're gonna be deceived. This is why Mashiach said, if they say I'm here in the desert, don't go. You're gonna be deceived. So let's now talk about one of the biggest deceptions that we all went through. Okay? Let me see. We can start with creation itself. Let me grab my Bible here, and we'll start with that. Okay. Let's start with Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Okay. And the Most High said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Okay? And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 16. And the Most High made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And the Most High set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Okay. Now pay attention to verse 16. He made the two great lights, the moon and the sun. Then it tells you he made the stars also. Now, family, read into that planets. Where did it say he made Jupiter and Mars? He said he made the sun, the moon, and the stars. See, that's one of the lies of what we learned in school, coming straight from NASA. Remember what I said, what NASA means, to deceive. That's the name that they gave themselves. We didn't give them that name. They gave it themselves. They know what that word means, family. They just not counting on you ever looking at it. Okay? Family, there are only stars. There are not no planets and stuff up there. Nobody has landed on the moon. Nobody has went to no Mars, because it's not a Mars. It's stars and constellations. That's it. That's all. Okay? The moon is a luminary. It gives her light at night. It's not like the sun. It's not hot. Okay? But light just as well. Now the sun heats the earth. But guess what, family? Look it up for yourself. Anything that I say today concerning what we're talking about now, go look it up. Many people don't know the sun is a star. It's not a planet. It's a star. It's just the closest star to us. All those other stars you see way up in the sky, many of them are bigger than the sun. But they are further out in the heavens, which makes them appear smaller. But it's many of them that are bigger than the sun. Okay? But neither one of them is a planet. And we can prove it with scripture. You know, in Revelation, what verse would that be? Revelation 8 and 11. In fact, I'm going to turn to it. Give me just a second. See, we're going to prove this with scripture, see. We don't have to prove it by my word or nobody else's word. We're going to let the scripture do the talking. And you take it from there, what you want to believe. Revelation, chapter 8, verse 11. Listen what it calls the wormwood. And the name of the star is called wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. See, man will have you believe wormwood is a planet, as in planet Nibiru. This is what they telling you is going to fall to the earth when the scriptures tell you that star that falls is called wormwood. It says it in Revelation. It says it. It's a star called wormwood. So that's not a planet. Okay? In the scriptures, Job. In fact, go to Job chapter 9 and verse 9. Give me a minute. I'm going to turn to it myself, family. Give me just a second here. 773. I need chapter 9, family. Okay. Now, this is Job chapter 9, verse 9. We're going to see is there such thing as planets. Okay? Because that's how they're going to deceive people. Going to tell you folks going to come down here from another planet. You know, we're going to be invaded and all this foolishness. So let's read Job chapter 9, verse 9. Let's start with verse 8. No, let's go on up to 7. And we'll read down to 9. Which commanded the sun, and it rise not, and seals up the stars, which alone spread out the heavens, and tread upon the waves of the sea, which make Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Now, right there, the word of the Most High says that he just mentioned 3 constellations. Not planets, constellations. As in the Revelation 12 sign. It was just when stars, a constellation, family, you know, you look at it, it's a group of stars, you know, that at some point, you know, they represent something by the way that they're grouped up. Okay. Okay, let's look at the first star it mentions in Job 9 and 9. The first one would be Arcturus. If you look it up in the Strong's Concordance, or you can go to the Blue Letter Bible and type in Arcturus. When you go down to the definitions, it tells you what it is. A constellation. The Great Bear, Ursa Major. You know, those are the names that, you know, man gave him, Ursa Major, but it's letting you know it's a constellation, a group of stars, not planets. Go to the next one, Orion. And the concordance number for it is H3685. I want y'all to look these up for yourself, family. Go down to the definition of it. Orion, a constellation. A group of stars. No planets. Let's go to the next one. What is it? Pleiades. And the concordance number for it is H3598. Its definition, Pleiades, a constellation of 7 stars. Not 7 planets, 7 stars. See, the composition of stars is what make them glow, family. They're made up of gases and helium and stuff, whatever they're made of. Different gases is why they glow. Like I say, many of them, if you do the research, they're bigger than the sun. The sun is a lot closer to Earth than what they're telling you. Now, we're told the sun is 93 million miles away. I beg to differ, family. I live in the state of Texas. I would invite you to come down here in the hottest month in Texas, around 1:30 to 2 or 3 in the evening, and go stand out in that sun, and you tell me if you feel like it's 93 million miles away. It gets hot enough here, family, you can crack an egg on the sidewalk and it will literally cook it. It's not no 93 million miles away, family. I tell you what, you're not going to get no Texan to believe it's 93 million miles away. And some of you other people who live in very hot, climates. Now, see, that's a lie of NASA. Beguile. To deceive. See. It just, this is why we're warned against worshiping, star worship and sun and moon worship. We don't worship them. We just stand in awe of the things that the Most High put in the heavens. You do not worship them. Such as astrology, this zodiac stuff, Well, I'm an Aries. I'm Pisces. And you think that's got something to do with your behavior, and stuff like that. And it doesn't. And we're not supposed to consult with astrologers and none of them folks. Are we in awe of the Most High's creation? Absolutely. When you go out there and you see those stars up there and the moon and stuff, you just stand in awe. Most High is awesome. Those stars and moon and sun are there for signs and seasons. They're not to be worshipped. Okay? Don't do it. Because now you become a stargazer or a star worshiper. Okay? Let's go to this. Psalms, chapter 8, verse 3. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. Do you see planet anywhere in there? In fact, find planet anywhere in the Bible. Let me know how you come out, because you're not going to find it. If the Most High had created planets, then he would have said it in the beginning when he created everything else. When he created the sun, the moon, the stars. And I created some planets too. There's Venus and Jupiter and Mars and come on, family. It's the lie that we were fed even as children. Luke chapter 21, verse 25-33. And there shall be signs in the sun. The sun is the biggest star, closest to us. And in the moon being a luminary, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Verse 26, men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? Notice what it said in 25, signs in the sun, signs in the stars. Okay? Says nothing about no signs of no planets. You know, that's just a lie that you were told. We all were told. But when you hear the truth, family, you got to accept the truth. You got to accept the truth of the scriptures. Who you gonna believe? The Most High and His creation, or what man told you it was? Or was it some big explosion, like they say? The Big Bang. Who you gonna believe? Jeremiah 31, verse 35. Thus said the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Most High of hosts is His name. Okay? Again, I don't see nothing about no planets. I'm still looking. See? Family, now, there are different things that the sun and, the planets cause. And you can find that in the scriptures. Let me see. I'm trying to find one. It's in the book of Matthew. I don't quote me on it. I think it's Matthew 4:24 or something like that. Anyway, there is a condition that went on back then where Mashiach was treating people who were called lunatics. They had a condition that, kind of brought on when it's full moon or something. Oh, I wish I could think of that scripture, family. I think it's Matthew, I want to say 4:24. I'm not quite sure. But somebody can look it up where he healed people who were called lunatics. It was something that kind of happened to him according to the moon. Scriptures, what most people say it was epilepsy, but the Romans and none of them knew nothing about no epilepsy, but it was some kind of illness that the Mashiach healed him from. It says he went around and healed lunatics. You can look it up yourself. The way it's spelled in the Bible is Lunatick. Lunatic. Okay? That's how it's spelled in the Bible. The way we spell it, the K isn't on there at the end. But yeah, the moon does affect some things, family. Those of you who live by oceans and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure y'all can attest to it. Because mostly when there's a full moon, it affects the tide in the ocean. You know, it rises. You see the waves coming in a little bit higher during a full moon. Those who live in these coastal areas. Also, the time of day, and we'll be able to get out of here, family, but I want to just add this in there. The time of day affects some people's behavior. Okay? Those who have dementia or Alzheimer's, when late evening comes, they really start acting up. I mean, some of them get anxiety. I'm pretty sure if any of y'all ever had in the family, I did. This is why I know for sure. You know, my sister, before she passed, she suffered with Alzheimer's and dementia. I could go and sit with her in the daytime and she'd be just as normal and talk. But if I went over there in the evening, at night, she's a whole different person. I mean, she curse you out, try to hit you. She's got anxiety, aggression, you know, wandering off and all that. This happens to people in the evening who has dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm pretty sure if y'all ever had anybody in your family and you was around them enough, you would know. And I didn't know why that happened until I asked a nurse. And she told me it's called sundowning. Okay? You can look that up yourself, family. It's called sundowning. One word. SUNDOWNING. It's sundowning. And she said, yeah, that's. She said it's called sundowning. Well, I didn't really believe her, really, so I went and looked it up. You know, and I found out that it was true. Because in the daytime, you know, she could pretty much remember stuff and just kind of talk normal. But I went over there, man, I mean, she treated me like I was a stranger. Who are you? Get out of my house. Stuff like that. See? But, yeah, sometimes the elements affect us. Those who are suffering with some kind of problem. But all this space talk, family, you know, the scriptures you just heard plenty of them. All they named were the sun, the moon, and the stars. That's it. The sun is a star. Look it up for yourself. It's a star. So is the rest of them. And a constellation is just a group of stars that form something. You know, like we say the Little Dipper, where they're just kind of in a formation that resembles a dipper. Okay? Had nothing to do with them being no kind of planet. Because they're not planets. Did I have anything else I wanted to bring out? Well, no, I'll bring that out in the next lesson. Yeah, I think we'll just stop right here today, family. And on the next lesson, I'm going to go a little bit further about the days of the week, okay, and how these planets got their name. And we'll do that next time. It's possible I might do a short video on it tomorrow. But we have to know this so that we won't be deceived with these days and months and everything else. We're going to find out who's responsible for what they are now. Okay? All right, family. Guess until the next video, hopefully I can get it up pretty quick. I'm going to say shalom for now. Shalom.